Hey there guys, how's it going? I hope all is well. I'm going to be discussing something that's very controversial, and it is racism in the Philippines. I got a message from somebody. He told me not to share his name, but it says, I am going to the Philippines to visit my girlfriend of 2 years. If all works out, we'll be getting married. My one question though is, I've never been there, and I've heard that there is a lot of racism there towards black people. Have you met anybody that's experienced it, or have you experienced racism yourself? Anything will help. Thanks a lot. It's a really heavy question, and I'm going to try to answer it to the best of my ability, but it's not going to be, my answers probably aren't going to be exactly what you might be looking for, but I'll try to help you out the best I can. So, have I experienced racism personally in the Philippines? Yes, I have, but it's never been anything that has been like as severe as I know some other people have experienced. Luckily for me, I am half Filipino, I am half Mexican. Generally for me, I don't experience, because of that, I don't experience much racism. And I'm not trying to say like, look at me, trying to be as honest as possible here, because me not being honest with everything is not gonna help anybody. But the racism that I have experienced here is very subtle. Most of the time it's because of people's ignorance of other races and ethnicities outside of the Philippines, because it is mainly a homogenous country. I say homogenous, but I really mean just like it's an Asian homogenous country where there's not a lot of ethnicities or races outside of Asian. The few ones that I can remember is there is one time, and it wasn't directed towards me, it was more of the fact that he was asking about like what's happening in the States with Black Lives Matter. He's like, those need to calm down because it's not a big deal. And I was like, oh, did he really say that? And for me, every time somebody says that word, I have this natural reaction of being like looking around, but I was in a car. I was like, what? I think it's just because we're in the Philippines again. There's not a lot of African descent people living here, so they know that they could get away with saying that word because it's something that it won't offend a lot of people here, I guess. But for me, that was like, I was like, whew. Another time happened when, this one isn't necessarily, I wouldn't say racism, again, it's just more ignorance. When somebody asked me if I was, what am I? I'm like, I said, I'm half Filipino, half Mexican. Oh, so you speak fluent Mexican then? You guys eat a lot of beans? I'm like, oh, okay, like, I get it. Like, I'm half Filipino, I do eat a lot of rice. I'm half Mexican, do I eat a lot of beans? Yes, I do! So that's, you just don't ask somebody like that. I get it, like, it's just, they're in the Philippines, it's not as exposed to like in the US, where in the US I am around Asians, Latinos, African Americans, white Americans, whatever you want, Middle Eastern Americans. Like, you know, as a person in the US, how to say certain things without sounding a little bit rude or offending anybody. And in the Philippines, not the case, because they don't know what might be offensive or what might not be offensive. So just expect that. In Metro Manila, I would say you would probably experience almost little to none racism. If you probably go to the province where they're not as exposed to other that are not Filipino, then you might get people that are just curious, not necessarily racist. I mean, racist people are all over the world. 98% of the people here don't care what you look like. They don't care if your skin color is the whitest shade of white or the darkest shade of brown. Nobody cares about that anymore. In the Philippines itself, there is a wide range of skin tones. Come to the Philippines and enjoy it, and you will see just how nice the people here actually are. Yeah, so I hope my little spiel about that helped you. Just let me know in the comments down below or send me a message. But until then, I will see you in the next video. Okay, bye.